Hey, Stephanie.
Hey, how are you tonight?
Good. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. I'm good.
Good, good. Did you go out tonight?
No. Well, see, it's only 7 o'clock here.
Oh, I keep on forgetting. It's so the time difference.
Yeah.
How's so in Seattle right now? How's the weather?
Oh, it's nice.
It's been
It's,
good.
yeah, 60, 60, 65.
So, have you ever had like any type of fillers or Botox?
Oh, God, no.
Never
No.
wanted any of that.
No. Um, uh, I've always wanted to get the my lips done, but I never did it. When it came down to it, I was too afraid.
You were just like, no, I'm okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
yeah, because I had seen so many, botched lips. I was afraid to do it.
now, have you ever seen the show Botched? With the plastic
Yes,
surgeons. I used to watch
yes,
that all the time. Aren't they funny?
I
Those
know. Is it still on?
No, I think they ended it, to be honest with
Yeah,
you, like a while ago.
yeah, because I watched. I think it was on Netflix or Hulu. I watched all the episodes, and I wondered if there was any new ones.
I mean, how do you like I can't imagine being a plastic surgeon and you're just changing people's bodies all the time. I mean, sometimes it's for, whatever, but like I couldn't imagine like getting some of the surgeries that they've gotten done. I mean, I've had family members who've had a lot of plastic surgery,
Uh
but
huh.
I don't know like what would be too much. Like sometimes it's like these women they come in there and they want everything like redone.
Yeah, I don't. You have. I mean, you got to put a limit on it. You got to be happy with what you got. I mean, I suppose if I had something that really bothered me, I probably, would have done something
Right.
about it.
Oh, I completely understand. Like there's just something like I told a friend of mine um to get a skin she lost a lot of weight and um she couldn't afford to get the skin removed
Oh,
after her
right,
weight
right.
loss.
Yeah,
And I kept on telling her, well, if it's getting in your way of life, right?
right,
So like if it's hard for you to, stand, walk, do normal things because there's so much of it. I'm
right.
like, if you tell a doctor, and it keeps on persisting after a while, there's a way that you could probably get some of it covered under insurance. Like if it's like legitimately like, you know,
Well, yeah, it would have to be affecting your health,
right.
I think, for that to be covered. But no, I heard that excess skin can be very heavy.
Yeah, and it could cause infections and stuff. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like yeah. So I hope for the best for her, in her journey of getting it done. I mean,
yeah,
I've considered plastic surgery before. Like I said, a lot of my family members have had something done. Like
well,
whether it was
what is it that you would do?
I'm thinking like I have like bad varicose veins that I'd like to get removed from my legs. Um and that's borderline health issue. It could be health related too if I keep them in there. So I'm just wondering what I could do about it. But like I know a lot of people who've had surgeries and like minimally invasive surgeries to get rid of like unwanted like veins, you know.
Yeah, I remember my aunt, she had bad varicose veins in her legs. I mean, they were the bulging kind.
Yeah, yeah. They're
Yeah,
gross, I know. Yeah.
very, very painful.
Yeah.
But I mean, she was older too. Now, if I was a young person, I might think about it. But I was fortunate enough that I was happy with myself and didn't, like I said, the lips was the only thing. My mother, excuse me, my
Mhm.
mother, her whole life always wanted a nose job,
Oh, okay.
but she never did it, of course. But she hated her big Norwegian nose.
Well, my grandmother, she got a facelift done, and I wanna say she got liposuction,
Wow.
and, I mean, I've had a couple like, I've had a lot of family members have, like, work done, if they didn't like it, they just I don't wanna tell all their I don't know how they'd feel about it, so I'm not gonna say
Right.
everybody, but, like, I think
Well, I was going to ask you, was that your mom in the video for the eclipse?
yes.
Oh, okay, I figured that because she looked like you.
Yeah, she was yeah, during the eclipse because what ended up happening was I saw the forecast for the day,
Uh huh.
and I was like, "This doesn't look good," it said, like, mostly cloudy, whatever, so I'm like, "Okay," right? So I'm like, "You know what? I'm still gonna do it anyways," right? I'm just gonna make, like, a big deal, hype up everybody, and, my mother's neighbor was outside, and he's always, like, talkative and everything else, so I figure he would come over and, put his 2 cents in, and, I I still thought it was pretty amazing just to see it go from, light to dark, back to light in the middle of the day, but it was just it's just one of those things, I guess. I don't know. It's one of those things once in a lifetime that you can probably see something like that.
Right.
So, it was
Right.
cool.
But yeah, but no, back to plastic surgery.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone that's had any.
Really? Not one
Yeah.
person?
Uh, I'm trying
Or
to
maybe they
think.
didn't say maybe they just didn't tell you, because
Well, I
sometimes
remember I worked with a girl that had a boob job, but
okay.
I wasn't really friends with her.
I
But oh gosh, family and friends. No,
I
nobody.
I've had friends who've had boob jobs, but their boob jobs were actually reduction boob jobs. They
Mm,
weren't like implants, they were reductions. So
ah,
I I mean like I've even like had people like talk do oh, what about LASIK surgery? I mean that's not really cosmetic, but
what is that?
where they correct your eyes so you don't have to wear glasses or
No,
contacts.
no, I had cataract surgery,
Oh, okay.
but I remember the LASIK thing, and I wore glasses, and I remember our insurance at work was paying for it, and then everybody was getting it done, and then by the time I thought I would get it, the insurance quit covering it. Yeah, I know. So I did miss out on that.
Yeah, like I think that like you should be able to get certain things like done if you really like need them, especially like cat. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know. I've always, uh, you know, uh, I don't know. A facelift wouldn't help me now. I don't have wrinkles, but I have my face is,
right?
it's
You're
not
yeah.
as
I mean,
firm as it was.
yeah.
I'm lucky I don't have wrinkles. I got the bags under my eyes, of course. And I got those from my mother. My poor mother, when she died at 82, she had really bad bags. I hope mine don't get that big. She had the big puffy kind.
Well, my grandfather, he had to have. Well, it was considered cosmetic, I guess, but it wasn't. Like his eyelids were drooping so were drooping that bad where he had like an eye lift on.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
I've
mean,
heard of that. No, I don't. Yeah, I don't need no eye lift or anything. But no, I just, I'm 66. I, am not looking for a husband. I suppose if I was trying to be out there dating and stuff, maybe I'd want to fix myself up. I don't know, Michelle. Uh, I don't know.
you
Some
do
of
it.
it is crazy.
You do it.
These,
You do it for yourself, though. You do it for yourself.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. If
if
it makes you feel better, it wouldn't do anything for me. I mean, you know,
yeah, I get it. Like I don't
yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah, my grandmother, she got it done. It was later in her life too. It wasn't like when she was young or anything. And then I've had people that I've known get Botox, but Botox usually, a lot of people get Botox because they get migraines or headaches. And apparently, I'm not sure how this all works, so I'm not an expert, but even though it's a toxin, right? Botox is like it's a toxin. It
Right.
actually like relaxes all of your muscles like in your face. So apparently if you get like sinus headaches, tension headaches, all of those, I guess Botox shots relieves them.
Yeah, well, that's what they say they're getting it for too.
Right? I can't
Oh,
help
I have
myself.
migraines, but you might as well take out these wrinkles right here too. I mean, I don't know. That Botox, I don't know. That stuff, I don't know.
Well, they also have therapies for like psoriasis, like skin conditions, right? So they have these booths that you can go to now, and they're not necessarily tanning booths. Like I'm sure we've all been to tanning booths, right? We've all done that.
Oh my God, yes, I did it
Yes.
for years.
But let me tell you something about tanning booths. So I understand that there's a risk. But every time I used to do it because it wasn't necessarily for the tan. I mean, yeah, the tan was nice, but um there was something relaxing about like it just relaxed all my muscles. So now they have these booths, right?
Uh-huh.
Because they've done research on it. So apparently, like these UV lights that come from these booths, these lighting booths,
Uh-huh.
actually help your skin in ways.
Well, no, believe it or not, yes, I had, before the tanning beds, before, everybody said how bad they were for you, I had eczema on my arms. And my doctor actually said that a tanning bed would probably help my eczema. And sure enough, it did. Plus, I got a nice tan, so I was hooked. I went for years in tanning beds.
I know
Y-
I've known a
Yep.
lot of people that have used it for like there. I always knew that there was. I know that they have these warnings and everything, but like I knew that there was something about them that was actually good. And like I don't where I live, we lack sun for so long that it
Uh
just
huh.
feels it would I would usually go like in the middle of winter, right? I'd usually get like a month membership, right?
Right.
And
Yep. No, I had. Oh my God. Yeah, I had uh, memberships. I'd sign up for a year, unlimited. I mean, oh yeah. And then every time before I went to Hawaii, I always wanted to make sure I was tan, so I would go
I
before my vacation. And
used to
um,
go to Florida because Florida's sun compared to New York sun, completely different. Like, I mean,
oh,
I
tell
don't
me.
I don't burn easily, but when you're in
Hmm.
Florida, for some reason, it's like I gotta put sunscreen on. Like,
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you a story. I've been to Hawaii several times because I have a Hawaiian friend who's from there. Okay, I thought I was so smart going the first time, getting a little bit of a tan, and then all right, I'm laying out in the beach in Hawaii, with baby oil on. My friend keeps telling me, "You got to put sunscreen on, Stephanie. You've got to. You're going to burn." Oh no, I never burn. That night I was on fire.
Yeah,
I
because
have never been so burnt in my entire life. So my first trip to Hawaii, I couldn't be in the sun after that.
ladies out there, listen to us when we tell you the closer you are to the equator, the more potent the sun is, and you
Yeah,
definitely need sunscreen.
I could not believe it. Well, I was used to Seattle sun. I never burnt. I got real tan. Uh oh yeah. That and then after that, every time I went to Hawaii, oh boy, I had my sunscreen, and then I would get a nice tan.
That's how I was with Florida. In Florida, I would always New York, never once. Never once. I could lay out all day long in New York and maybe a little pink, nothing major, but like Florida, it was like, oh wow,
Oh, and
like you really need it. Like that state is no joke.
yeah. Oh,
But
I know. You don't need I never needed sunscreen here. We always just, use baby oil.
so you have you always dyed your hair blonde?
I've dyed my hair blonde since I was 16.
Okay, so what method would you say works the best for blonde? Because I always would dye my hair blonde too, and it is always tricky, right? So when you're dyeing your hair, like to get it to the certain shade of blonde, it's hard. Okay, it's not easy maintaining blonde hair by any means.
Right.
And I bought purple shampoo, right? So
Yes, purple. Yeah, I use purple shampoo. Uh-huh.
yeah, and it's always just like it's so easy. Every time I went brunette, right? It was just so easy of a transition, and it's not that hard, but, like, blondes, that's maintenance. Like, you need special shampoos, you need special conditioners, or else your hair will do you know what I mean? You understand.
Yeah. Now I don't dye my hair blonde anymore. This picture's 10 years old. My hair is mousy brown now with gray in it.
Have you thought about doing, like, granny gray? Have you seen
I
that?
thought, yeah, I thought about just going to the beauty shop and having my hair all done gray. I've thought of that. Yes, Michelle.
It's It's a trend and it looks good because I've seen many women, and they don't even necessarily have to be older, with the gray, they're rocking like the platinum gray color, and
Yeah.
it looks good. Some people
Yeah.
can pull, like, they don't look older. Like these people
No.
are pulling it off, and I am
Yeah.
like,
I could
sh-
pull it off. Yeah. Because yeah, like I said, I've dyed my hair blonde. I mean, even the first time I, let my hair grow out, I've always had mousy brown hair as my natural color. And the first time my hair was, finally all brown, my nephew saw me and he said, "Auntie, did you dye your hair?" I said, "No, honey." I said, "This is my natural color." Oh God, my nephew thought I was a blonde. Oh jeez. Yeah,
well, well,
yeah.
my father, when he was younger, when I was younger and I was a kid, when he would shave, like, he would
Uh-huh.
grow out a beard and mustache, and then when he would shave, he would freak us all out. We'd be like, "Where's dad? That's not." He would get a kick out of that. It was just crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, bye, Rita. Let's see. So, so yeah, blondes is always harder to maintain. But like I said, if you go to, I know a lot of women that just went for the gray, and it looks good
Hmm.
on them, and I don't think it makes them look older whatsoever. Like some people can pull it off. So do you have like the blue eyes going on
Oh yeah,
too?
yeah, I have blue eyes,
Yeah,
yeah.
you can probably pull it off.
Yeah. No, I've got the the blue eyes. But my bet when when I was working, I used to go and get my hair foiled. Um uh
Y-
because that was the best blonde I've ever gotten is when I went to the beauty shop and got my hair foiled.
Yeah, the highlights and the low lights and everything. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was the best. I mean, and then uh when I retired, I couldn't afford $150 anymore to the
It's
beauty shop.
300 now. It's 300 now. Yeah.
Oh, I wondered, oh my God, see how much? See, it was 100. The last one I got was $150, I remember. And so when I retired, I tried to buy blonde dye and do it myself. Well, the
It came out
only thing
orange.
well, no,
Oh,
no, I had to try several different brands. It didn't look bad, but it didn't look like if I went to a beauty shop. I mean,
it didn't
that
look like Tom's hair. It didn't look like Tom's wig.
oh my God, no, 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 it didn't look like Tom's wig.
I like Tom's wig.
Oh God, yeah, I know. Yeah, that was so funny. I mean, I hope you didn't get feelings hurt
Oh
because
no,
it
not
was
a, no.
just all in fun,
I told
Michelle.
him to do it. I told him to do it.
Oh, good, because it was just all in fun.
I was gonna
Not
mail him a wig. I was gonna mail him one of my wigs.
you were.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No, but I think, but yeah, like, so here's the thing, right? So I always thought that being a woman was always harder than being a man, even though, it's a man's world. And, they always say, man's world. And I mean, I love men, don't get me wrong. I do. I love men. But it's like, I always felt like as a woman, as a girl, a teenage, like we always had, like, everything always was always like, I don't know, as far as like keeping your appearance was always a lot of work, keeping up with your appearance, like, and everything else. And like guys, it just seemed like, oh, I took a shower and like, I go to the barber like once a week, give them like $5, $10, and that's about it. Where it's like women, I just think need more like upkeep. Like even if it's just, you know, it's just everything. Like always.
Yeah. No, I know. It's yeah. Of course it's harder being a woman.
I mean, I'm sure there's definitely things that are harder for guys. Like I'm not saying, but it just always seemed like I was always like, geez, like I was just like I had like the least of my problems, Like it's just crazy. And even with like just hormones and stuff too in general, it's just nuts. Trying it with all of
Right.
like, the easy thing is for men to get snipped, but it's like all these women, I've met tons of women who've had like either they got their tubes tied or
Oh,
which is a complicated surgery. That's like a
right.
complicated, like, you know, that's not easy.
No. I mean, it was so funny. Worried about uh 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 birth control, so I
Oh,
was
yeah.
always careful with that. Well, then when my husband and I decided, well, maybe we'll have a baby. Well, come to find out, I couldn't get pregnant. So it was like, oh, well, I've been worried about this and I can't have a baby anyway.
Well, I've personally known people who have paid like $70,000 to have a child.
Oh,
And
yeah, I
it
know.
obviously, like, they went through but they ended up having children, but, like, it was very complicated and a lot of money. A lot of
Yeah.
money.
We didn't. I mean, I'm glad I didn't, because it was kind of a passing thought. It wasn't really thought out. It was just thought, "Oh, okay. Well, then uh I couldn't get pregnant, and then we were like, "Oh, well, okay." And then we got divorced. So I'm kind of glad that, it didn't happen.
Right. I totally.
I suppose if we, stayed together and wanted one, then, we would have, went to see what our options would be. But
Yeah. No, I get it.
yeah,
I get it. I honestly don't think that I would go through extensive amounts of things to have a baby. Like, I don't know if I couldn't naturally have a baby, I don't think I would want to pay like, $70,000 and get all of this done and that done and everything. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it would.
yeah, yeah, I know it.
Now, do you think
But I suppose, what?
that nowadays people are having less children than they used to?
Well, it doesn't seem like it.
I don't know. Like, it seems like a lot of people out there are like more hesitant to have kids or have a lot of kids, with birth controls and stuff like that. Like, before, when like birth control wasn't a big thing, it seemed like people had more kids. Like, instead of like one or two, they had like 3 to 5.
Yeah, I know. Well, my nephew has four, and my um, niece has three. So,
Oh, wow.
yeah. Um, but see, what happened? With my nephew, the fourth baby wasn't supposed to happen because, my nephew had testicle cancer,
Okay.
and I mean, it was bad. It was a horrible thing that we went through as a family. Um, anyway, they removed his one of his testicles, and they even had some of his sperm frozen in case they wanted to have another baby, right?
I know a couple, same thing, had to do the exact same thing, and they ended up having 2 kids, healthy kids, and they're still
Yes,
all
and
alive.
it didn't affect my nephew because she got pregnant with the fourth baby, and it was like, oh boy, there's nothing wrong with just having one.
They ended up I know a couple, same thing, same thing. They froze his sperm just in case, whatever, after the surgery, they weren't sure, so they got his sperm, and they ended up having 2 children, and both children are healthy, and they're in school, and yeah, like, everything's all
Yeah.
good. Oh, Nitty's baby mama number 12 is pregnant with Frank's 18th baby in the chat. 18, wow. Well, there was that show. What was it? What was that show where didn't they have like 9 or 10 kids? Like the lady kept on having more kids. Like I couldn't believe how many kids
Oh,
she
that reality show. Yeah, I can't remember what it was.
I forgot, but like she
I
kept on having
forgot too.
it was like every year. Cause when my son was younger, I used to watch more TV, like when he was like little.
Uh-huh.
And like I would see some of these shows and it was crazy. Like it was just it
Oh
just
God, you're probably too young. Do you remember that show Eight is Enough?
no, what's that?
Oh yeah, that was the show of a family. It was a TV series, and they had 8 kids. That was good. I just thought of it now. You saying a bunch of kids. But no, I was happy helping my sister raise my niece and nephew, and now I've got 7. I call them grandkids. So um, I don't feel like I've missed out on not having children, of my own.
Yeah, you had all your yeah, that's
We're
true.
so close that I feel like they're part mine, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, no, I don't regret any not having my own kids. I mean, hell, it was it was hard raising those 2. It took all of us to raise those 2. I'm telling you.
It takes a small village to raise a child, right?
I'm telling you, it did
Oh, you
too.
wanna know what though? Because like, I have some friends who are teachers, and they tell me, they're like, "You can't touch the kids anymore, like, you can't say anything to the kids, like, if they if they do something bad or anything else in the public schools anymore because they're so afraid of like the parents and stuff. They're like, you can't say stuff to the kids like you used to be able
Oh,
to.
no, I know it.
And
I know
I'm
it.
not talking about like, being violent with the kids or anything, but like you can't like discipline kids, I guess. Like you just kind of let them do whatever they want to do when they're in school now.
Well, that's funny you brought that up. My little autistic Mason, he got suspended for a day from school.
Really? That's, like, really hard. What'd
Yes.
he do? Like, or
I
what did they
don't
claim?
know.
Oh,
I don't know. I text my niece to find out, and um she hasn't responded. But you know what's so funny, Michelle, is my sister's gonna watch him tomorrow. Well, he loves to go to Nana's house. I mean, that's no punishment. He's gonna be so happy to go to her house instead of to school. He's like Susie said, he'll just eat popsicles all day and kick the ball over the fence.
that'll show. I never understood that punishment. Like, you c you're suspended from school. Okay, I feel so, like, regretful now, like, because obviously most parents work like, what like,
I
you know what
know.
they should do to punish kids? Instead of like, you know, suspending them from school, they should make them come to school on weekends or something, like, when all the other kids are not there. They should
Oh, I
have, like
know. I
they should
mean,
have,
that's
like
that it's so funny because that's no punishment going to grandma's house. God, I don't know what he did. I don't know.
but
Uh,
isn't that a good solution, though? Like, if a kid gets in trouble at school, they should have to go to school on the weekends. Like, wasn't that
yeah.
kind of like the Breakfast Club, kind of?
Well, I know. I mean, he's 8 years old, so it's like, well, so what? I don't have to go to school. I mean, it's like, okay. So I'm going to go over there tomorrow and find out what he did.
I think that's a little young to be suspended.
Yeah, I know it. I don't know, he's in the special classes, so I don't
Yeah,
know. I
and
don't
he's
know, what the
yeah.
punishments are. I don't know what he could have done that's so bad.
At 8,
Y
yeah, like, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Uh, well, they always used to, like, they'd alwa the parents would always be like, "Wait till your father gets home," and it was like, "Oh, no," like, freaking
Right.
now it's like kids, like, don't have that sense of, like, something bad's gonna it's like, "Oh, I get a day off of school. I don't have to go to school. Yay," for the day. I don't
Oh,
have
I
to
know. And, my sister bought him a new tablet because his sister accidentally stepped and broke his tablet, but she's not gonna give it to him tomorrow.
well, I always found a good way was to, like, take away their technical devices, so, like, no video games, no, tablet, no, any of this, like
Yeah, I mean, when they're little like that, it's like, what do you do? I mean,
I was I was pretty strict with my son at a young age, and that's so when he got older, it wasn't like a big like, I would say something and, like, he would do it, like, it wasn't even like a you know It wasn't like,
Mm.
you know how kids like to talk back to their parents and whatever, like, it wasn't even
Yeah.
like that. No, he but that's the worst punishment ever for I couldn't imagine, like, "Oh, I got suspended. If we do that, like, freaking I don't have to come to school, yay."
Oh, I know he doesn't care. I know he doesn't care. He's
No,
gonna say, "Oh,
you're gonna have
whatever, Tata.
you're
Whatever, Tata."
you're you're gonna have to go to school on a Saturday and just do nothing but, like, I don't know, like,
Sit
study.
there.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, they used to have detention. Remember that?
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
you did something bad, now you get to freaking you're basically, like, in a kind of like a timeout and, like, do it on the weekend so that they don't have their Saturday to sleep in or their Sunday, you
Right.
know what I mean? Like,
Right. I remember, I remember I had to do detention once. I don't I gosh, I
Stephanie
can't
was always in
remember.
detention, stop lying, you were always gonna get in trouble, weren't you?
No. No, I really didn't get I just, skipped school a lot when I got to high school
Oh, okay.
because I had a car and we only had, one class after lunch, so we'd take off for lunch and not go to that last class.
Well, what was your first car?
My first car, um, okay, let me get this right. It was a '63 Ford Falcon convertible.
Wow, convertible.
Yeah, yeah, we had some fun times in that car. Yeah, I was 16.
Now, would you say that it back then, and even with me, because, like, I'm that generation where I knew what it was like before technology, like, when I was young, and then technology started coming out. I would say, like, in my early teens is when it really started, early mid-teens is when people actually not everybody had a cell phone. Still, even then, not everybody had a cell phone, not everyone had a computer, but, like, do you feel like there were you had more privacy back then than you do now, just in general, because of all the technology?
Oh, well, yeah, we didn't have it, so, yeah, we
Did
had to go to a
did
phone booth to call our parents. I mean, come on, we didn't have anything.
every time I see a phone booth now, I take a picture, like a working phone booth, I take a picture,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "This is
Oh,
what we
I
used to
know.
have to do when we were
Yeah,
kids."
oh, yeah, yeah, I mean, yeah, we had to call, our
So,
parents from the phone booth.
here's a good question. Do you think it is safer now because of kids can have cell phones and stuff, or do you think it's the same, the safety level?
Well, no, having a cell phone is a lot safer because, I remember us breaking down in my car, at night. We didn't have there were no cell phones or anything. And we had to either walk or sit there and wait for someone to come help us. Um, I wish we would have had cell phones back then for that.
Now,
So,
do you think it's kind of it's like one of those things where it can be a good thing, but also a bad thing that kids are so connected and have this,
oh,
type of
well, it's a good thing for, having a phone, for emergencies, but I mean, it's a bad thing because Michelle, go out in public. Everybody is looking at their phones. Nobody is interacting with people, each other anymore.
yeah,
I,
it's social
yeah,
interaction is definitely different, I think, and the kids, these
yeah,
days. Like,
they don't have that social interaction anymore. Even adults, I mean, they're walking down the street, staring at their phones. I mean, I go to the grocery store and the girls that work there, have their cell phones in their aprons. I mean, it's
like I know when I worked at a grocery store, we used to have to talk to the kids if they were on the clock, and obviously on their phones and whatever. But um, I've met a lot of, you know, young adults who get like if they lose their phone, it is like they can't go on. Like they can't go about their day, which I mean, okay, so I get it, right? So phones are expensive. You don't want to lose your phone. Like I get that anxiety, but like I don't think if most people, let's say everybody lost their cell phone for a day, how do you think everything would be if everybody lost their cell phone? So you don't remember phone numbers, you don't remember anything. Like, how do you think everybody would function? Or let's say a week without a cell phone,
Oh,
but
they wouldn't.
everybody.
They wouldn't. I mean, maybe us old people that never had them could survive a week. I mean, I could survive a week without my phone. I bought a little address book and I wrote down some numbers in it in case I don't ever have my phone or my phone breaks because I don't know people's numbers anymore.
Right,
See,
right.
that's the way we kept track of phone numbers is we had address books in our purses and we'd go to a phone booth and call somebody.
I I would just I would just wonder how much panic it would cause if let's say like nobody could access like internet. You know what I mean? Like and everybody couldn't access their cell phone, no electronic devices for like a week.
Oh
Like
yeah, people would be freaking out.
for like
Sorry,
before,
you know that.
yeah, like before it was like, oh, you just go outside and hang out with the neighbor, you know, if the power went or do you know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, I'll just
Right.
go play outside or, you know, do whatever. But now it's like that's like a that's like the freaking lifelines for most people.
Oh yeah. I
And
mean, the
what's
kids now, I know the little kids in my family probably never seen a regular phone.
well, what I think could be a little of the bad side too is all the social media that everybody sees, right? So this young generation, they see this social media life and like the thing with social media is yeah, it's good. You could keep, you know, I guess you could keep tabs on people or whatever, but what people don't understand is like that's not real life. You know, like people put on social media what they want other people to see. And then like some people compare their oh, I saw this on like Facebook or, you know, whatever else and then they start thinking and it's just like it's a whole other like psychological thing now.
Well, you know what I think is a big joke are these freaking kids that are influencers.
Right.
Okay, so they're making all this money off YouTube right now. Okay, but you know what? It doesn't last. I
No.
mean, they should
Well,
be out there looking for a real job.
well,
I
a lot
mean,
a lot of the YouTubers who made it big, right? And I mean, I'm talking they made big money, right? A
right.
lot of them had many mental breakdowns during their whole career doing it. But it is being a full-time YouTuber is a lot of it's your whole life. Like you don't have a life anymore. Your life is doing YouTube, you know, unless like you stop. But like the thing is like a lot of the young YouTubers who made, you know, successful living for themselves, they've had plenty of breakdowns, like plenty.
Well, yeah,
Because
I
not only
mean,
is their life is on YouTube, right? So not only do you have that, but you'll have people who don't like you, who will threaten you, whatever. And then you have the pressure of I got to figure out what my next video is going to be. You know, like I got to figure out how I'm going to pull this one off. Like,
oh,
you
it's
know,
just so stupid to me. I really, yeah, I mean, yeah.
I mean, basically it's entertainment, right? So like back in our day, our entertainment was the TV, right? And now YouTube came out and I think it offers people who wanted to go into like the entertainment industry, I think it offers them a way to do it on their own instead of going through television. But it's like, I don't think people realize how much work is actually put into some of the videos that made it, where people made millions of dollars doing it. Like living in these big houses, have tons of cars, and the strain it puts on just
Well, yeah,
everything.
but then it gets these other young kids. Oh, I want to do that. I want to be like that. Well, that's not a goal to have in life, is to be an influencer on YouTube to me. No, that's
I
not a
think,
goal they should have.
I mean, I'm all for making realistic goals, like, going to college and going about things that route. But it's like, I just see this generation of like, it's just like the phone will just suck you in as far as like, yeah, like you can meet people off of Facebook and you have, like, let's say you have 400 friends on Facebook, but like, how many people are really your friends out of the 400? Like, how many people are actually your friends and how many people did you just add just because, like, or for whatever reason, you know?
Right. Well, of course. Yeah.
I think that's the thing. I think people just don't know how to socially interact anymore because, oh, I
No.
check my Facebook like, you know, 50 times a day and like I see this and this and this, or I check, Twitter. There's Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I mean, there's so many social media platforms now where like everybody kind of knows other people's business, but like it's just it's just like out there. It's just crazy,
Yeah.
like when I first started with social media, it was MySpace, and that's when I was in my like late teens. I would say I was like, I don't know, or maybe early 20s, but they had MySpace, and basically I used to like to use it for music and
Uh-huh.
but that's when that first came out, and then it was Facebook, and then Facebook I liked because Facebook had cool games. They had a couple cool games that I like to play on Facebook, but I think it's just I think it's just like just a whole it's just weird, especially for me seeing it from two different perspectives. And like even in school, there wasn't really like a lot of computers still even when I was in high school. Like we had a computer room and you took a typing class and stuff, but it was never like full-fledged internet programming and all of that until like college, till I was about college age. And then that's when it was like, oh, computers, go to school for computers. And
Oh yeah, we never had we never had computers. No. It just wasn't going on then. I mean,
yeah, but not, I mean, like, I enjoy the internet and I enjoy like the information that you can get, without having to go to a library, check out a book and whatever. But I don't know, like with artificial intelligence too now, it's like, I wonder how all of that's going to work out because they're trying to make robots and everything else. And it's just like, well, artificial means,
well,
artificial,
yeah, I mean,
fake
when we
intelligence.
when we wanted to look up something, we had to go to the library to the encyclopedias. I mean,
Right.
how many kids do you think ever go to a library?
Oh, hardly any. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
like
I know.
if we had to write a paper, we would have to go to the library. We would have to look up where the
Right.
books are in the library. We'd
Exactly.
have to get the
Yeah.
books that we needed. We'd have to bring them
Mhm.
home. Then we'd have to bring them back, and it was just a big
Yeah.
process. But
Mhm.
and now it's like, but the problem is now, Stephanie, is you have to, when you're doing research online, you have to make sure that it is correct information, which is harder to
Right.
do than when you have so like there's all of this information, right, in the internet, but now you have to decipher it to see if, oh, is this false? Is this false information? I got to double check this. I got to fact check stuff now, because you can get information anywhere on the internet.
Right.
So I took a whole class on uh, fact checking and, with internet research, and it was just, it was crazy. So,
Oh, I know. I mean, I admit I love Google. I'm
oh, who
Googling shit
doesn't?
all the time. The only thing I do not Google if something's wrong with me,
Don't
because
do that. Don't do
I,
that.
I
Yeah,
did
don't.
that one time
Don't.
and I had every horrible
Did you
disease
go to
there
the emergency
was,
room? Did you go to the
yeah, with
emergency
my
room
symptoms.
afterwards?
So I do not Google anything that's wrong with me. I don't Google it.
All of a sudden,
Because
someone Googles it. Oh, I says I have to go to the emergency. You put your
I know.
symptoms in. Here's the symptom. Oh, I think I have to go to emergency. You go to the emergency room. Oh no, don't leave. Their advice
Yeah.
to you is just leave your
Oh,
phone
I
alone.
know. Yeah. I mean, you think you had 10 days to live if you read everything off Google. Shit. No, I know. No.
Well, you're
Excuse
smart.
me. Yeah.
You're you're smart with that. But like there are a lot of things that I do appreciate with technology. Like I like Instapots. Like I'm so glad they came out with that. And now you can look up recipes online and you can
Oh,
like keep
yes.
stuff
No,
stored.
I admit, when the phones first came out, where you could go to the store and buy a flip phone, and then you'd have so many minutes, and then these companies started coming out, cell phone companies. But I remember buying a phone, and then you had so many minutes, and when you ran out of minutes, then you had to buy more minutes.
Right.
And I just back then, no, I really just had it for emergencies. I didn't talk on it a lot. Then when the cell phone companies came out, and then uh, they went from flip phones to the phones we have now. Um, then no, I admit I love YouTube. I mean, I first came on YouTube just to watch funny videos and look up recipes and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Um, I sometimes I have YouTube on my TV, so a lot of days I will just watch YouTube all day on my TV. um,
Right. Yeah.
because there's just so many good things. I mean, you can even watch old shows and everything, movies. Um, no, YouTube has a lot.
Actually, I would love to thank YouTube because I got one of my the coolest recipe from YouTube and it was stuffed pepper soup. And I love it because it's a lot easier than actually making stuffed peppers and it takes less time and it has all the ingredients. It's basically like stuffed peppers, in an Instapot and it actually tastes amazing. So yeah, there's definitely a lot of things that I found with the internet. Do you have an Alexa device at your house at all? Like any
No,
type of See, that's
it's
another.
on my phone, I guess,
Yeah.
but I don't have one at home. No,
Now,
I don't know why I would need an Alexa.
so
Why would I
Alexa,
need one, Michelle?
so here's a good reason, Stephanie, that you might. I'll admit. Okay, I use it for this too. Is if I lose my phone, it calls my phone for me.
Oh, really?
I'll be like, if I can't find my phone, I'll be like, Alexa, and I'll tell her to call me, and she'll call me. But the Alexa device, now I have the one with the camera. Now you can call other people using the video on it. Um, if you have like relatives out of state, or you know, it was always a
But
fun
you can do
device to
that with
use.
your phone.
Yeah, but the device that I have, it moves with you. So like it's motion censored. So like if I move from one side to the other, like it can pan out a whole room, and it sees how you are, and then it can pan out. Like if I move a certain way, like the whole device will move.
Oh, you don't have to carry your phone with.
Right, right.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I don't need one of those.
But
No,
that's
I don't need one an Alexa. No, I don't need that.
yeah. When they first came out with that, um, I'm like, I gotta do some research on this, and like, we even bought a drone, right? You know, I bought a drone for my husband because he was really interested in one of them, and they are pretty neat. Like as far as getting like aerial footages, like we got a lot of neat videos from the beach here, from Lake Ontario,
Uh-huh.
and so those things are cool. But the funny thing is with drones, you literally, so you don't need a certificate to fly these things, but you need to know, you have to download these apps. So there are places where you cannot fly drones because
Oh,
the drones can go up that high that it could get in the way of airplanes, everything else. So there's actually like no fly zones for drones in certain areas.
yeah. See, I wouldn't trust people. You
Well,
always have that one idiot.
right. No,
Yeah.
a lot of people do it and they wreck their drone. Like I'll admit, one time the drone did get stuck in a tree because when you're learning how to fly these things, like you're like, you know,
So
when
you
you
have a drone so you can take video, right?
yeah, yeah, and take
Okay.
picture, yeah, take um like if you want to get like aerial shots of like scenic routes. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, they're cool. They're cool to
Okay.
use. Like, it's definitely
Right.
like a neat little
Well, yeah, if
gadget.
you're into that, yeah, I suppose it would be. Um, God, I remember when the camcorders came out. My dad bought one, and that thing was so huge. You know, the video camera.
Yeah, they used
He
to
had
be
the huge one.
with
I mean, it
with
was
a
giant.
suitcase. I
We
bought my
thought it was,
camcorder. It's like 30 pounds. I gotta sit on my
yeah,
shoulder and hold it to my eye for like
yeah.
freaking.
We thought it was so cool.
Well,
I mean, we still have the VH tapes of our family that my dad recorded with that damn thing.
I had it too, and then like my mother would get pissed because I would like go grab the camcorder and I would like make my own videos and stuff.
Uh huh.
And the tapes at the time were kind of expensive. So like
Yeah.
I would go and like I'd have my friends like line up and like I'd give them a script to read and I'm like, "Mom, I'm freaking filming over here." And she's like, "That's for the family functions and this and that. Don't tape over this and that." But that's before any editing really came out or anything. It was just crazy, like
Oh,
with a
I
big
know. I told my
camcorder.
sister we have to find a VH S player so we can watch these old tapes because my dad,
I think you can get
made so many of the my niece and nephew when they were little.
I think you can get them converted to like DVDs.
Oh yeah, Susie said something
You
about
might
that.
be yeah, you might be
You
able
can
to
do
do that.
that.
Hiya,
Yeah.
love. Yeah, but technology, it's just like it's amazing, like from what I had as like a kid and early teenage years and stuff to now, and it's like it's just crazy. Like even like your car now can park itself. You can have a car that parks itself,
Oh,
It's
I
just
know.
I just, I don't know. I just feel like it's gone like it's awesome though because like you can do so much more now than you could
Well,
before.
when my sister picked me up one day, we were going to the store. Her car, on her dashboard came up that said, "You need a cup of coffee."
I love, don't you? You know what creeps me out about my car, Stephanie? My
Yeah.
car, not all the time, but every now and then, my car will give me a warn. When I turn my car off, it'll be like, check the back seat of your car, like caution, like check the back seat of my. Why is my
Oh,
car telling me to check the back seat of my car? Like, and it
yeah,
doesn't happen. It doesn't happen all the time. Nobody's in the back seat of my car, and I'm like,
right.
why is
I
my car
know.
telling?
When that popped up, see, that was the first time it popped up on my sister. We started laughing so hard. Says, "How is the car? I don't even drink coffee." my my sister drinks Coke for her caffeine. She doesn't drink coffee, and we were laughing so
That would
hard.
be my car, Stephanie. I was a coffee lover for many years. Like I would not be able to function without at least like a large iced coffee in the morning or whatever. That was my go-to. And like I have to tell you, that car, I would have loved that car. I would have freaking died. Like my car's telling me to go get coffee, gotta go get coffee. And then there's my husband. Another $5 coffee? Like what's going on?
Oh,
Oh
I
yeah.
know, it's crazy. I drink. I drink coffee my whole life. Yeah,
I I just like the taste of coffee. Like it wasn't even
me
so much.
too.
Yes, it was nice that it like got me going, like whatever. But like, because people would be like, "Why do you order your coffee black?" Like there was literally times where I put maybe just like a splash of creamer in my coffee. I'm like, I don't know. I just like the taste of coffee.
Yeah, I drink my coffee, Michelle Black, for years,
Yeah.
and then I don't know how I started with coffee creamers, but now I can't. I cannot drink black coffee anymore. I have to have my flavor creamer in there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
French
now,
vanilla or caramel or.
well, when I worked at Starbucks, like I learned how to make like all the specialty drinks, like the
Uh-huh.
lattes, the macchiatos, frappuccinos and stuff. And it was just crazy, like how many people like bought these specialty drinks, but most of it was just like milk,
Yeah, I know. I know.
and then they would have like 6 different milks. So if you didn't want regular milk, they had almond milk, soy milk, uh,
Yeah.
you name it, cashew milk. There was even a cashew milk at one point, and I was just like, that's a crazy business right there, the coffee business.
Oh yeah. I was a barista too, Michelle.
Oh, really?
I had a part-time job at a little coffee stand that was on the side of the road. Uh-huh. That
I
was a
could so.
fun job.
I was just about to say I could so see you rocking that.
Oh yeah, it was fun. I met a lot of people.
I mean,
Mhm.
well, unfortunately, when I worked at Starbucks, it was a good place to work for. So I'm not trying to say anything bad, but like it was so fast paced that like it wasn't the type where like you met customer and you had time to really like talk to them or anything else. It wasn't really like a
Right,
so it was like
right.
it was very and it's hard too because when you're making the specialty drinks, they take a while to make. It's not like, oh, I can just, pour coffee like in a, it's like, oh, I gotta wait for the espresso to come. I have to wait for the milk to boil, or I have to,
Right.
put 6 or 7 different things in this coffee. So I
Oh,
mean,
I know. Some of those people at Starbucks, the way they order their coffees. Oh, no
Stephanie,
foam, 100 degrees, skim milk, uh, I mean,
They would
just
have
this long list of,
s- some people literally would customize it so
oh,
extreme.
it's
It would
ridiculous.
it would be like so extreme. Like so you would get to the point where you'd be like you'd enjoy getting the, oh, I just want an iced coffee or I just want a black coffee. What? Okay,
Oh,
you'd
I
be
know. I mean, I would order a white chocolate mocha was my go-to at Starbucks. And I mean, I just ordered a white chocolate mocha.
yeah, the
And
mochas really sold really well.
yeah,
People like that. Yeah.
I love the you can buy in the grocery store here the Starbucks creamers. I like the white chocolate creamer. I can buy that at the grocery store, but of course, it's twice as much as the other creamers. That's
Of
the only
course,
thing that pisses me off. But
because it has Starbucks on it. So
yeah,
yeah.
but it is good. There's a I mean, I bought Carnation white mocha and Starbucks white mocha, and there's a big difference in taste.
And now I've bought the Starbucks iced coffee. They have the Starbucks iced coffee in the grocery store. I bought that before, and it's
Oh,
actually
I
not
bought
that
it too.
bad.
It's
Yeah,
not
the
bad,
already made.
no.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
the
already.
ones in the bottles.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
they're good. They're good. I'll buy one once in a while. I was always a hot coffee drinker. I do like frappuccinos. I haven't had one of those in a long time.
Those are like
Um,
desserts. Those are like if you had a
yeah, and
dessert, like an ice cream kind of.
well, it kills me now to pay $6 and $7 for a coffee.
Oh, I
I won't do it anymore. I can't. I mean, oh,
it
it
is.
just kills me. But when I was working, oh my God, I'd have 2, 3 a day. But, I had a job, I had more money.
Yeah, when I had more money, like my husband would always be like, "Did you have to get two coffees today?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
did."
me too. I had to
Yeah.
get my pack of smokes. I think back then they were what? Oh gosh, I don't even know, $7 maybe, $6. And then my coffee. So before I even start the day, I spent, over $10. And then of course I didn't bring my lunch, so I'd spend another $10. So I was spending like $20 a day just to work.
No, you know what's crazy now? You know what people do now? So I always found that crazy, but now people like to order their lunches in, which costs even more. And I'm just like sitting back and I'm like, wow, that's just like a lot of extra money you're spending.
Oh,
Like
you
if
mean
you
like
figure,
DoorDash?
yeah, they have it delivered now to them.
Oh, wow. Yeah,
Yeah,
see, when I worked, yeah, they didn't, the only places that delivered were like pizza
pizza.
places and
Yeah.
stuff. We didn't have DoorDash or anything like that. So, um, no, people are spoiled now. I use DoorDash a lot. Um, being without a car. I am getting a car, but I don't know the
Oh, cool.
guy. Yeah, but I don't know when I'm getting it now, but I will be getting a car. But I have a car and it runs, but it needs a tune up really bad.
Okay.
Uh, so I'm just afraid to drive it.
Okay.
But
Well,
uh,
they have here where I live, they have this service, right? So you pay $1 and this mini bus, it's a transit bus, right? So it's a small bus, it'll come for $1, pick you up where you are. You don't have to stand at a bus stop or anything. Will come pick you up and drive you anywhere in the town that you live for $1.
what?
Yeah, yeah. Like, I couldn't believe it either. I'm like, "Wait a minute. So you're only charging $1 and they will come to your house, so it's not like" because it's through the, transit center for the city, and
Yeah, but is that for everyone or
it's for everyone. It's for anyone. It's for
what?
anybody. Yeah. So if you have it's called on-demand service, right? So they want you to plan it out in a day. That's typically what they want you to do. So like let's say you're like, "Oh, tomorrow I want to go to the store, whatever else, you know." And if it's
Right.
in the same town, they'll do it for $1. So it's like crazy how even the
Oh
busing
my
is.
God.
Yeah.
We don't have anything like that here. I mean, we have, the transit system, but there is no way I'm riding on the buses.
Right.
Screw that.
Well, I mean, this is like it's a mini bus, but it's like a different it's not like like I said, you'll get to where you need to go obviously in a timely manner, but
Right.
when they came out with it, I was like, really? And you don't even have to, wait at the bus stop or you have to walk, this far away and then you gotta walk, it's like,
So it's like an Uber, but it only costs a
yeah,
dollar.
yeah, yeah,
Oh my God.
yeah. Cause Ubering, like when I was younger, when I was a teenager and I didn't have a car, um,
Mhm.
I used to have to sometimes I'd have to walk to work. Sometimes if I had the money, I would call a cab. And,
Mhm.
even back then, cabs were expensive. Like, I didn't have that far to go to work. Like, it was only literally, I don't know, we'll say less than 2 miles, less than 2 miles, but, like, they would charge me, like, 15 bucks, and I'm like, "Wow." And this was a while, this was a long
Oh,
time
yeah,
ago.
I remember the cabs. I mean, if we needed a cab, we would call a cab, and it took forever for them to come, and, I remember, gosh, back when I was a little girl, I remember sometimes my mom would have to take a cab to work, and, yeah, the cabs are just they're I don't even know if I mean, around here, everything's Uber now.
Right.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, I
so
did so I
they're
did that.
taking over.
I did Ubering for a while with people instead of just
Uh-huh.
food deliveries, and I have to tell you, Stephanie, I'm not sure if it's just me, if I just people feel at ease to, like, talk to me, but literally, it was almost like a counseling session for people, like, every person that got like, I never knew who was and most people, they're like, "Oh, no, people come in and they stay quiet or play on their phones or whatever." I'm like, "Well, when they came into my car, it was like they 9 out of 10 people, not every person, but, like, most of the people came in and, like, just told me everything, and I was just like, "Geez, you wanna tip me a little bit more here?" I'm giving, like, life advice to people. I'm
Oh,
giving
god.
encouragement. I had to give a couple people, like, encouragement. It was just crazy, like, how
That's funny because with me, it's the opposite. I get in the Uber and I just say hi, and I'm
yeah.
quiet. And I've had Uber drivers that do not even shut up. They're telling me all about themselves. And I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah.
Well,
One guy, he was telling me, he was walking on this path that we have, and three guys jumped out of the bushes with knives and wanted to rob him. And he told me, yeah, I was telling me this story, and I was like, oh my God. I said, well, you should be walking with a gun.
well, but, like, I was
I
always pre
didn't,
I was
I
always
didn't
pre
know what to say.
well, I mean, like, I was always prepared for that just in case, like, I was like, I didn't wanna be stupid, right? So I was always prepared, and I always, like, mentally prepared myself and for any of those situations, but it was just weird, like, when people would come in like, I would always be like, "Hi," I didn't wanna just not ignore the person completely, but it was just like, people
Right,
just it was like, I tried to it there was a lot of interesting situation, but, like, some people just came in there, you could tell, like, they just sat and did their own thing while you drove them. But it just
right.
amazed me of how many people were just like, "Da-da-da-da-da." It was like they talked the whole time to their destination and everything else. It was
Oh
like, "Wow, I
god,
think
yeah.
I know you now." Like, like, you wanna, like, go out to, like, it ha actu well, there was a time when I had, beverages in my car, just in case if somebody wanted, like, a pop or a water or anything,
Right.
and, I was like, I should stock up on, like, beer and, like, liquor for these people, like, stock it up in my car and, like, charge people, "Hey, like, $5, I'll give you a beer, like, you want a
I know.
beer?"
I've been in cars where they've had water back there, but nah, I'm not drinking it. I've seen too many. I've seen too many YouTube videos and shit. I'm thinking, yeah, you take a needle and I saw once where the guy in the top stuck a needle and he squirted drugs in the water.
Oh, yeah, I mean, like, especially as a woman, you have to kind of be more careful about
Yeah.
that too,
Well, yeah,
'cause
I'm old now. I mean,
Stephanie's like, "I don't wanna be kidnapped and, like, I
nobody's
mean,
gonna
put in
abduct me. Oh my
Stephanie
god. But
Stephanie
you still have to be careful because they'll rob you or something, you know?
Right. Well, I mean, you're pretty savvy, so you seem like you can handle yourself if there was a
But
situation.
yeah, I don't take it. I don't know. I don't take anything that's offered to me from somebody I don't know. Um, but I've always kind of been like that anyway, though. Used to be, I talk like, I would partied and, did all that, but I was still cautious too. I was a cautious person.
Yeah, like I couldn't believe like what I yeah, when I went out there and I did it for a couple months and it was just it was I don't know, it was just like it was just
There's not
crazy.
many women Uber drivers. I've been using Uber for probably a year, and I've only had one woman.
Oh, really? Well,
Yeah,
I mean, I didn't really have any issues. Like
yeah.
I didn't have anybody like do
Yeah, but
dishes
I
or
still don't think you should do it, Michelle.
well, my husband at first he was like, "What? I don't, I don't know about this and that." And I'm like,
Yeah,
I'll be okay." And it was fine. Like I said,
yeah,
it was
yeah,
a
but I don't know. I don't think you should do that.
well,
Just do your frickin' DoorDash.
well, the thing is too is with cell phones and the technology of cars and stuff, if somebody was to try to do something, like there's so many like safety features like within your car. It's like you would be stupid if you're like, "Oh, I want to rob an Uber driver." Like, I mean, okay, so first of all, they probably don't have any money on them. Like, if you're smart,
Yeah,
like
but
you
what I'm
could,
saying, yeah, even if there's a camera in the car, I mean, somebody could stick a gun to your head anyway.
oh
I
yeah,
mean, I just don't think it's a safe job for a woman. That's just me personally. I just really don't.
yeah. I mean, I I've had some stories with that, but I mean, it was okay. Like my time
Yeah.
doing it, like I did it for a while, but the thing is I really didn't make more money driving people than I did with just delivering the food. So I was like, oh, I might as well just deliver food because
Yeah. See, there you go. Yep.
I really wasn't making that much more money to actually deliver people to their
Right.
destinations.
Yeah. See, yeah. Yeah. I know they don't make, I mean,
But
you got to drive a lot of people to make any money.
the funny thing would always be like when I'm like, do you want to listen to music or do you want to? Because you always have the music off, and then like, do you want to listen to some music? And then it's like, what kind of music do you want to listen to? But yeah, I jammed out with some people. Like I'm like, yeah, I had fun. I try to make it as
Yeah.
you know as fun as I possibly could. But yeah, it
Well,
didn't.
yeah, I'm not that social. I get in the back seat and I just want them to get me to the store. I mean, I don't care if you've been jumped by 3 guys or I mean, oh my god, some of them just, oh.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine getting jumped, but I mean, like, it's just one of those. It was crazy. I had a good time doing it though.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well,
not
you just have to try different things. I've had so many jobs, um, over my lifetime. I mean, I tried everything. I mean, I had my good job, but, I was a workaholic, so I, found all these part-time jobs to do, like on my days off or at night or
that's what my I have a couple friends who are like that. They are always working, like
Yep,
every day. They don't have a day out, like constantly, like,
yeah,
and
that's what I remember working with no days off, yep.
they like it like that. They don't mind it.
Yeah,
You know, they're
I
kind of
loved
like
it.
it keeps them busy. It keeps them going. You know, like
Yep,
I've seen
nope,
it. I've seen it all. Like well now I think they're trying to scale back from that because before it was like if you were a salaried worker, you were expected to at least work 45 hours a week. But now I think that they're trying to make that less, you know, so people can have more of like a family balance, like if you have kids and stuff. So like
right,
where before it was like your salary, like if you only work 45 hours, that's good. You know, they because it's like they expected you to work 45 to 50 hours on salary.
right.
It wasn't even like, oh, your salary and you work 45 hours a week. Well, that's, you know, that's a good thing. And it's like, okay, I guess not really, but, you know, okay, I
Well,
don't see.
see, for years I worked, 6 to 2, and so I'd get up at 2 o'clock in the afternoon and I'd have, all night. And it was like, oh, well, I'm going to go find something to do. So then, and then I start, so I could have a part time job doing something else. And I loved working in the bingo hall. That was so much fun.
I could see you doing
I
that.
used to call the numbers, and when people bingoed, they tipped good. I'd walk out of there with $100 in my pocket just from tips from bingo. I mean, that was a fun job.
Wow. Yeah, like
Yeah.
I bet. Like, well, I thought about working at the casinos here for a while, but they're kind of it would be it would definitely be a drive for me if I was to go
Yeah.
to casinos. It would be like at least an hour there. And I mean, I'm not sure how well the tips are there, you know, but the base pay, it was like, you know, it wasn't that great to have to drive an hour there and an hour back for, you know, like a part-time thing.
Well, I have a friend. He's worked at our casino for 25 years, ever since it opened. Um, and the way he's a blackjack dealer. Um, he's a blackjack dealer. So the way their tips work is all the tips go into one pot, and then it's split between all the dealers.
Oh, okay.
Now that's how the blackjack tips work. Now I don't know about anything else in the casino. I only know this from him. Um, but he's been there so long. He wants to be a pit boss. Um, but yeah, he's been there ever since the casino opened, and he's white. He's not Indian because our casino is Indian.
Okay. That's what I was
Yeah,
going to ask you if if they were Indian owned or okay.
yeah, no, our big casino is Indian. So, but he's been there that long. He likes it.
Now, with Seattle, um, where you're located, is it more of like a rich area or like a suburb or, or city?
Yeah, I'm about 20 miles from Seattle.
So, see, like I've never been to Seattle, so is like how would you describe Seattle as a city?
Well, Michelle, I haven't been downtown Seattle for years.
Okay. So
So,
you live in like the probably like the outskirts, like maybe country area, a lot of um
yeah, yeah, not country, but just one of the towns.
okay, like a
Yeah,
suburb.
one of the
Okay.
towns outside of Seattle.
Hmm,
Yeah,
interesting. I was
yeah.
just so
But I
have you
know downtown Seattle's gotten really bad with homeless people.
okay.
Um, I watched a documentary that was made a year ago about Seattle, and yeah, it's getting bad. Downtown is just not what it used to be.
Now, do you think so do you think maybe the poverty is from lack of help from government or where do you think it's stemming from? Why it's getting worse?
Michelle, I don't know. I know we have a giant homeless camp down there under the I-5 freeway, and there's always trouble going on down there with all the homeless people living down there. Um, Seattle did spend all that money and built those tiny homes for homeless people, but it didn't work.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I wish I could have one of those tiny homes. Shit.
So so Stephanie, I have to know what is your favorite recipe to make?
Oh God, Michelle, ham sandwich.
We're not going there. I told Tom I could never, not that I was a big ham eater to begin.
Well, I was on a casserole kick for a while. I was getting recipes off YouTube for casseroles
Okay.
because I thought, oh, I'll make a big casserole and I can eat it for a couple days. So I did that for a while. But Michelle, I'm not a cook, honey. You know, I'll bake chicken and make some side dish with it. Um, uh, frozen dinners and DoorDash. Um, yeah, yeah. So no, I'm not. A lot of days, I not even that hungry, and I will just have a sandwich, and that
Yeah.
But no, I don't. I'm not a cook.
Okay.
No.
I got. There's a
Yeah.
lot of there's a lot of people in my family who are like that. They're like, no. It gives them anxiety to make meals.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I buy like frozen lasagnas and stuff like that, and
so what's
uh,
your okay, so what is your favorite frozen pizza?
um, I'd have to say I haven't had frozen pizza in a long time. What is that one my sister buys? It's really, I think it's DiGiorno.
Yes, that's the best frozen
Yeah,
pizza.
I think that's one. When we go over there once a week, and she always has that pizza. And I think she said it was the DiGiorno pizzas.
Yes, Infilove, is talking about ordering HelloFresh. Like, I don't know if you looked into that site at all, but they have
Oh,
really good
I have
meals.
looked into those pre-made dinners, but it's quite most of them you have to sign up for a weekly thing. You can't just do it one time. You have to sign up for a continuous um so many dinners per week, Michelle. They don't have just where I could just try it one time.
Okay.
And they come out to be $6, $7 a meal, and I'm happy with going to the store and, getting the frozen dinners for half that price. So, no, it's not an option for me. No. Mm-mm.
I definitely see where, you know, where you're coming with. Of like my my mother, she used to buy Marie Callender's pot pies, and I
Oh,
actually
yeah,
really like
they're the
those.
best.
Yeah.
They're the best pot pie. Yeah, they are.
I used to be like, Mom, where are the pot pies? Because um she used to she would get they actually, I don't know if you remember this, but they used to have French fries that you microwaved. They weren't the best, but like literally they'd come in a box.
Oh gosh, I think I remember those.
Yeah, they don't have them anymore, but they had French fries in a box and you put them in the microwave.
Oh yeah, I use my microwave a lot. Yeah, I use my. In fact, let me see which. These are my favorite, and I got. Oh, the Healthy Choice,
Okay. So Stephanie,
the cafe steamers.
Stephanie, you wouldn't say that you're a Martha Stewart then, right?
No,
She's like, no, I'm not Martha.
not far from that. Complete opposite. Yeah, no.
Now, in see in your area, do they have like a lot of um do they have like zoos there, like around Seattle?
Oh yeah, we
Like
have the
in
big Woodland Park Zoo, and then we have the big one in Tacoma too. Point, um, oh God, Point Defiant Zoo in Tacoma.
so be so like have you always lived in Seattle?
Yes, I've always lived in Washington. Yes,
Okay. So you've always lived
yeah,
in there.
yeah. I graduated from high school just 5 miles from my house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, that's
yeah. I've
interesting.
always lived here, Michelle. If the kids weren't here, I would leave this state though.
Really?
Uh huh.
Just be like, see, what state would you want to live in?
I'm not sure, but I mean, there's a lot of states that are a lot cheaper to live than here.
Would you want to move to like a warmer climate? A lot of people do that.
Oh no, no, I don't like the heat at all.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
No, oh God, no. Yeah, it's like I just had a friend. Her and her husband retired to Arizona. So what the hell are you going down there in that heat for?
Yeah, well,
I
that's
mean,
an
why do all these old people go to Arizona? The hell, I could
you should
never
go
live
to
there.
well, in New York, most people they call them snowbirds. So
Right.
basically, they live in New York for 6 months and then they live in Florida for 6 months. That's how it is here. That's the state that they usually go to here.
Oh, I see.
And I tell you what, you can get a pretty decent trailer like for senior community, like a senior like so they have these senior parks in Florida. And let me tell you, Stephanie, yes, they're quote unquote trailer parks, right? But these aren't your typical trailer parks. So with your trailer, which is a good looking like it's a good looking trailer. So with your trailer, you get a golf cart with your trailer. And then there's boat docks too. So if you have a boat, you can dock it. It's right on like a lake. And then they have like the pool there is like Olympic sized pool. And then they have a golf course there and like a recreational center where they play bingo and everything. So these retirement places that they have in Florida, yes, you're in a trailer. So it's I guess you can call it a trailer park, but they set these seniors up. It's like you wouldn't believe it. They
Oh
have
yeah, no, I wouldn't. I've always liked trailers. I wouldn't mind living in a trailer park, but I couldn't afford that, Michelle. that someplace like that, it's not cheap.
I'm not sure how much these were,
Oh
but
no, yeah,
they
those
can't be.
those old people are paying a lot of money to be there.
I
So
I
yeah,
I mean maybe, but like
yeah,
I when I went
because we
there,
have retirement communities here that are beautiful, but I mean, I can't afford to live there. Yeah, I mean, yeah, no, I would love it, but no, my income, no, I couldn't live there, honey.
I bet you if you I could probably because some of the people that I knew that lived in these places, they didn't make a lot of money, like, when they worked, and I guarantee you, you could probably, like, swing it. But they
Oh
have
no,
yeah, like, in Florida, they just have these communities of, like, seniors, and, like, they have, like, doctors on site, um, it's just crazy. Like, I was driving around the golf cart in the senior community, I was like, "This isn't bad for, like, um, if you wanna go to, like or even have a place to go 6 months out of the year, it's like, yeah, I
yeah,
could see
but
where you."
the problem is, Michelle, I couldn't handle that heat. That
Yeah.
humidity, it'd kill me, honey. I couldn't be able to breathe.
Yeah, that's true if it the
Yeah,
well,
Florida, oh my god.
well,
Ugh.
Flor Florida's humidity usually isn't that well, sometimes it is, but usually what ends up happening in Florida is if it gets humid, it'll just rain most of the day. So, like, it'll, like, rain for the day and then the sun will come out. So, like, humidity's not that bad in
Yeah.
Florida.
Well, that's why, I mean, the summers here have been crazy. We've had 90-degree summers and we never used to. I can't even go outside if it's 90 degrees because I can't breathe. With what I've got wrong with me, I can't breathe in that heat. So I have to stay in my house with the air on. That's why I could never live somewhere where it's hot.
Yeah, I can see that. I'm just Oh, look, People Watcher. HelloFresh was great. I did it for a month. We loved them, but couldn't afford to stay on the program. Okay.
Oh, yeah, I know it. I bet they are delicious, but yeah, it gets expensive. But
But
I've looked up other ones and they're the same thing. You have to sign up for continuous delivery and yeah.
I could do a trial run of HelloFresh for you guys and see how it works.
Yeah, there you go. Why don't you do that?
Do like do product reviews. Here's HelloFresh. Here's my next meal of the day.
I suppose I could do it once and then just cancel it. Do it for 1 week and say, "Oh, well, no, I want to cancel it."
Now, do they have a BJ's or a Costco down there?
Yeah, we have Costco. Yeah, we have Costco. I don't go to Costco.
So, Stephanie, do you have any pets?
No. No, I had my dog for 15 years and he died 5 years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I never got another dog.
Dogs are a lot of work. Well, unless if you get like a small dog. But like big dogs, you have to train. And I had a dog. Oh, geez, Stephanie. When this dog saw another dog, it went crazy. I was like, I couldn't do it. I was like, nope, 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 nope. And it
Yeah,
was it
but
was a
when
strong
I
dog
lost
too.
Bo, I didn't want another dog. He was such a good dog that there's no dog that could ever compare to him. So, and I don't
Now,
want
what
one of
breed?
those.
What breed
Oh,
was it?
he was a Beagle Russell mix.
Don't you love the the beagle, the little hound beagles, like when they would bark, they had a distinct bark, you
Yep.
know? It wasn't like a normal bark. Not at
Yep.
all.
And I do not want a little one of those little yappy dogs. No thanks.
You mean the anxiety dogs that get scared
Yeah.
if you like leave it alone for a second?
Yeah. No, thank you. Yeah. No, thank you.
Well, they would allow people sometimes in the grocery store. Now, they weren't supposed to, but once in a while you would have somebody with like a small dog and they would literally like, they'd have this like thing like it would drape over the cart and they'd put their small
Yeah.
dog in the cart. And I
Yeah.
was like, they're like, I don't go anywhere without this dog.
Or
So
they
they're
have them
holding
in
their
their
little dog.
purse. They have them in a purse. Please. No.
But technically, with food, you're not supposed to have animals.
No, I
But
know.
I
You're not
did
supposed
visit,
to be in there.
I visited a cafe in Canada and it was a cat cafe. So you sat in this cafe, you ordered food just like any other place, except there was cats all around. They'd have like these cat towers and whatever else. So you'd have all these cats walking around while you're eating food. It was a cute
Oh,
concept.
wow. Yeah, I bet there's a lot of cat hair around.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to be okay with that. You know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
you know what you're walking into,
Yeah.
whatever. But
I
yeah,
was
it was
never a
crazy.
cat lover. I was never a cat lover, Michelle.
Really? I like cats. I mean, cats are
Yeah.
pretty easy to take care of.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't need any pets.
So where you are, how far are you from Canada?
Oh gosh, it's not far at all. We're because our state borders Canada. We used to drive over to Vancouver a lot when I was younger to party and stuff.
Yeah, that seems like the theme. Like everyone goes to Canada to party.
Yeah,
I did it too.
British Columbia is what's connected to Washington.
It's crazy. That's
Yeah,
insane. Yeah,
yeah,
we're
and
close to Niagara Falls.
okay,
That's where I crossed to go to get to Canada. We'd be like, "Oh, Canada," and then they'd have like all this like party stuff and tourist major
right.
tourist location, obviously Niagara Falls.
Yeah, I guess Vancouver's gotten really bad with their homeless drug addicts up there too. I watched a video about they have places where these drug addicts can go and shoot up and everything in Vancouver. They tried that. What do they call it? Um, Giving them the drugs so they're not out on the streets buying it.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I think I bought. Yeah.
I watched a documentary about that.
Well, if you go to Niagara Falls here, you
Uh
have to go
huh.
to the Canadian side because the American side is like run down and not good. So you go to the Canada side, and that's where they have all the tourist stuff.
Mm,
And they have this thing there. It's called Made of the Mist, right? So you go on this boat, and it literally takes you down by the falls, and it takes you so close to where you have to wear these ponchos. They give you the ponchos to like put over yourself.
oh
But
wow.
yeah, you get like close up and personal with the falls. Like they're
Was
like, oh my
that
God, come on.
scary? Was it scary?
No, not
No.
really. I mean, it's it was pretty controlled,
Mm-hmm.
boat ride, and I was
Right.
like, yeah, I'll do it. I mean, the scariest part was taking the elevator down to where it actually is because it's actually really far down
Yeah.
um,
Oh
from
man.
the level where you see it. So you're taking this elevator, and it's almost like in a cave. So it's like, okay, here you go. But then, I mean, it's a good experience, and you get really close to the falls. Like the boat takes you out like pretty close, and everything's splashing all over the place, obviously. But yeah, it's definitely something to see for sure. And then they have like they just have a lot to do. Like if you want to go to
Right.
a bar, if you want to go to, they have good restaurants, a whole bunch of like entertainment stuff. Like I said, they had a maze thing there. Here I am. I'm like, we're all on a family trip. I'm like, let's do this maze thing. And then here I am like cheating, like going over the top of it, like because you could like it wasn't totally enclosed. I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I can't figure out how to get. I'm laughing, I'm getting. It's going on 30 minutes here. I haven't found my way out of the maze. I was like, there's got to be a way to get out of this thing. But like, you do stuff like that when you're with your family. You're like, yeah, let's try this out. You spend
Right.
money, and they're like, well, that kind of sucked.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, but
sounds kind of fun.
well, they have like drag shows down there too, and like this scary museum, this like wax scary museum thing. But
That
yeah,
sounds cool.
if they could make a buck off of it, it's on that strip. Like we figure if there's any kind of like entertainment or any kind of shirt, souvenirs and everything. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. People watcher, where are you from? So it's out of control here. But now that our dollar is getting better, you know, it's almost like better to visit Canada if you can, because we have more
Yeah.
buying power.
Right. Right. Oh, well, Michelle, I think I'm going to have to get ready for bed, honey.
All right. Well, you have a good
I
night,
am
Stephanie.
so tired, and it's only 9 o'clock for me.
Get some
But
sleep.
I did get up at 5 o'clock this morning. Um, and I went to bed at midnight. And then I went to bed at midnight last night, and I woke up at 5 o'clock this morning, wide awake. And
Did
I
you go
thought,
run a mile?
no, but it was like, God, it seems like it just went to bed, but I couldn't go back to sleep. So I said to hell with it. So I got up at 5. So I've been up. I'll sleep good tonight now because I didn't sleep much last night. But I hate that when I wake up early and I can't go back to sleep.
You know,
I've woken up at 3 in the morning before and not being able to go back to sleep.
you know
I
what
hate
help.
that.
You know what helps? Like it happens to me too a lot. What I found always helps is like when you wake up and you're like wide awake, just lay there in bed. Force yourself. Like don't just force yourself for like 20 minutes and you'll eventually just go
Yeah.
back to sleep. It's when you're like,
No.
I gotta get
That doesn't
moving.
work for me, my dear. Oh, God. Well, you know what? It's midnight for you. You should be in bed.
Yeah, I'll be to bed soon.
Yeah. Okay. Well, thanks for having me on, Michelle. It was fun tonight.
Thanks for coming on,
O-
Stephanie.
Okay. And I will see you later.
Take care. Nighty night.
Bye bye.
Bye. Okay, so let's see. Who we have? So, People Watcher, you say it's out of control here. What's that? We have business, Costco, and Sam's Club. Well, they made like Sam's Club ended up shutting down here. And I'm not sure why. And then Costco came in and BJ's started. And with some of those places, the prices are pretty good. They're not bad. Good night, Stephanie. Well, I'm going to leave the link up if anybody else wants to come on tonight. Let's see. We had Stephanie on here talking about her blonde tanning days. Let's see. Okay, so there's a link, you guys. I'm going to be on for a little bit longer. Um, Yeah, Costco's decent. Costco and BJ's. Well, BJ's gas for whatever reason, they get a really good price on their gas there. And then they have the credit card. So if you get their credit card through BJ's, you get, I believe it's like 25 cents off a gallon. Let's see. So we're gonna need some cooks to come up on the panel too. I want to get. Let's see. So all right, you guys. Well, if nobody's gonna come up tonight, I'm just gonna end the stream, and I hope everyone has a good night and take care.